Yes, yes, yes. The boys are back, everybody. Just when I thought I was out yet again, cue Al Pacino, they pull me back in. Nolan McLean, my goodness, my God, my gracious. What a madman. Just when you thought yourself, Nolan McLean can't look much better than what he has at this point. What does Nolan McLean do tonight against the Philadelphia Phillies? What does he do? This is what Nolan McLean does. 8 shutty, enters the 7th inning with a total of not even effing 60 pitches. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, what a start for the stud, the Cowboy Ohtani. Nolan McLean, the spin rate darling, spinning it, dealing it, and carving up Harper, Schwarbo, Trey, GT, everybody and your mother, it does not matter. Nolan McLean, what a dominant start for this man. Brooks really got the job done. The offense stepped up yet again, did what they needed to do, scored at least 6+ runs every single game against these Phillies. They're frauds. They are yet again frauds. The Phillies are now 0-10 in their past 10 games at Citi Field. The Phillies OPS on the road is 21st in baseball. The Mets are 6th, so while the Mets don't have a good road record, at least they're still hitting on the road. This Phillies team has no clutch gene on the road whatsoever at this point, and that will be their demise at this rate. How we doing, everybody? It's your guy Wardy here, and we're amped up. We are absolutely so hyped up to get into the latest Mets postgame show as the Mets take down the Philadelphia Phillies in a dominant fashion here, 6-0. Nolan McLean just went 6 shutty like it was nothing. Nolan McLean is the first Mets starter this season to enter the 7th inning, not even at 60 pitches. It doesn't make sense. Oh my goodness, oh my God, oh my gracious. And I apologize, guys, if I'm a little laggy. That's because I'm so amped up and I need to get this stream started ASAP. So trust me, everything will even out throughout the show. Just give it a couple minutes, I promise. But I want to see you guys spam those W's right here, right now. Do not hold anything back. I want to know exactly how you're feeling right now. Let's get the brooms going. We got to get the vibes going. We're back at it with our latest Mets postgame show presented by our amazing sponsors at SeatGeek. Make sure to utilize our promo code WARDY10. That way you too get 10% off your next ticket purchase. No better time to buy Mets tickets than right now, as Jonathan's going to toe the rubber for his MLB debut, the 22-year-old phenom, this Friday against the Miami Marlins. We also got you covered with our great friends at Moomoo, the official trading platform of the New York Mets, and Raycon, everyday earbuds, but we'll get into Raycon a little bit later in the show here, everybody. How sweet it is. You love to see it, everybody. The Mets curb stomp. They handle the Phillies like it's not a problem because they're frauds, as our guy Broads Media would love to say. If you know, you know. Gate with the $5. I've seen enough. Build the McLean statue. I've seen enough. Give this man a 10-year extension. I don't care. All half jokes aside, we got my guy, Tim. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Really appreciate that. Really, really do. Great member, longtime follower, and friend of mine on the platform. Thank you so much for that. That really does mean a lot. Shout out to everyone that just became new members on the platform, guys. Really happy to have you. Again, if I miss anyone's comments, don't take it personal. We got a lot of breakdown in this one. This was such a dominant victory for the Mets. The Mets did everything, and I literally mean everything, that they possibly need to do in this ball game to secure not only the series victory, but to have us all reeling back in. I'm sorry, but you can't sweep the #1 seed Philadelphia Phillies and think a fan like myself is not going to get ourselves amped up and pull all the way back. We're back. We are so back. We are unbelievably back. The Mets now have a 4-game set against Miami. Take 3 out of 4, baby. Hype me up. I want to see how we're feeling right now. Mets offensive numbers, everybody, since the start of August have been amongst the best in baseball. Dave, I will definitely check out the P.O. Box. Thank you so much for the donation. Let's get the vibes going, everybody. The lowest ERA for a Mets pitcher to begin their career through 3 starts is Nolan McLean. No one has a lower ERA in Mets franchise history in their first 3 starts than Nolan mother effing McLean. Bang! Next lowest, Tom Seaver with a 1.19 ERA. Nolan McLean, 0.89 ERA. Shout out Michael Mayer with that stat on X right away. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, this guy was looking ridiculous. I get it. This was as advertised with McLean. He's been doing this all year, which is why I've been crying for McLean to be called up the past 2 months. You guys call me crazy, some of you. I'm telling you, I've said it then, I'll say it now. Nolan McLean is unbelievable. He has now pitched 20.1 innings in his major league career. He's allowed just 10 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks to 21 strikeouts. You want to talk about a good K to walk ratio? Step right up and meet Nolan McLean. A .89 ERA, everybody. Phillies are so overrated. Shout out Keith Hernandez. If you know, you know. Mikhail Hayes, thank you for the $5 holla, baby. KC says, take 3 out of 4 in Philly, and you only have to be 1 game better than Philly in the other 25 games. McLean, everything that you could ask for. Finally, I know KC did not want to get back in on the hype here. He said it's 1 game. They got to do it multiple games. Well, the Mets just swept the big bad Phillies. They're supposed to dominate this division without a problem. They're supposed to comfortably secure first place. Instead, now the floodgates are open. Now what we thought was not even close to reality and potentially win this division feels like the Mets are right in the thick of it yet again. Thank you so much, Storm, for becoming a great member on the platform. We appreciate that a lot, everybody. Again, spam that like and subscribe button on your way in, folks. Do not hesitate. Do not hold anything back. I want to know exactly how you amazing Mets fans are feeling right now because, guys, when we take a look at the current wildcard standings, the Mets now have at least a 4-game lead here that we are seeing at the following. Love to see it, everybody. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, I'm so hyped up right now. Mets 4 games up on the Cincinnati Reds. They are now how many games back behind the Phillies? I'm pretty sure, what are we, 5 or 4 now? I think we're 4, but I'm going to double check just to make sure. The Mets are 4 games behind Philadelphia for first place. It's still doable. Far more durable than what was going to be the case a week ago. President with the $2 holla, thank you so much. It looks like we have an NLCS rematch. I hope so, my guy. I hope so. I just hope it's a different result should we get back there. But guys, you know the drill by now. We're going to break down everything that you need to know about this amazing ball game. Hit those buttons on your way and don't hesitate. Help us get a 35K for a next short-term goal on the platform. We got a lot of comments to get to. McLean with the sweep. Indeed, my guy. Thank you for the $2 holla with our guy Thomas in here. Jeremy, $5 holla. I cannot wait to see Broads blow out. I can't wait to see Broads freak out. I can't wait to see Phillies post-game freak out. I had to watch the broadcast today because I reside not far out of Philadelphia. And guys, they were drooling over McLean. They were jokingly saying on the broadcast how they hope McLean gets sent down all the way back to single A and works his way back up because they knew how unhittable he was. And they also understood that the Phillies had no recipe for McLean, and they themselves in the booth did not have a recipe either. They were saying to themselves, yeah, this kid's going to basically be a problem with every single start, isn't he? And they were agreeing to exactly that. So guys, the McLean hype train, if you weren't on it now, you got to get on it now. I'm telling you, you got to get on it now, okay? Scott with a $5 holla, great member, states the following. Why couldn't McLean try at least 1 batter in the 9th? No need to risk it. I get why, but at the same time, he already gave up multiple hits. He was finally starting to look a little bit susceptible, and all the Mets needed was for McLean to implode the 9th inning and the bullpen not look good for this to be a testier ball game that otherwise needed to be. I get wanting McLean to go the full 9 innings, but at the same time, let's not be greedy. Let's just be grateful for what McLean did tonight because he was stellar. Sergeant, thank you so much for becoming a great member on the platform too. I really do appreciate that, guys. But folks, guys and gals, this is tradition. What we do for our post-game shows after every big victory throughout the course of the 162, we got to let it rip with the one, the only, the Rally Lobster. If you know, you know. We've been doing this, everybody, since we have been doing the Rally Lobster. The boys don't stop winning. We got to let it rip with the one, the only, the official WardyNYM post-game jingle. Lock in, baby.
Calling all Met fans, come and join us now. Talk about this game and gonna break it down. It's Mets Postgame.
Shout out to my guys, Greg and Jordan, as always, with the official WardyNYM post-game jingle. The fun little story behind that lobster is that I had that on the backdrop of my place I was staying out on vacation 2 months ago, and the Mets were on a heater when I was covering games there. So I brought a lobster back for good luck. I forgot to utilize it in my post-game shows, and the Mets started losing. So listen, the same way that Elmo stepped up at the plate today for the Mets as it was Sesame Street Day as the Mets are undefeated since Elmo attended Citi Field the latest time he did, everybody's the same way that the Mets have their winning ways going with a lobster as present. So again, it doesn't need to make sense. It can be stupid as all heck, but this is what we're riding with here on the platform. So if you're not lobstering up, I don't know what to tell you. Lobster Wardy, Lobster Mets, let's lock in and break down this amazing ball game, shall we? Oh my God, I'm so hyped up right now. I can't hold back my excitement. This feels like playoff baseball. This feels like for the first time since 2015 to 2017 area, 2018. Listen, the Mets have not had a starter that's had such F you with his pitches that says try me, really try me, since prime Jacob deGrom. This is how long it's been, guys. This has been a couple years now. And Jake was broken glass when he was with the Mets his final couple years. I have not seen a starter go out on the bump in his early 20s and carve up batters and look this damn good since the Harveys, since the Thors, since the early Jakes. This is a difference maker. And then you mean to tell me, but wait, there's more? Jonathan's towing the rubber on Friday? I'm feeling like a kid in a candy shop. I'm spoiled right now, is how I feel. And this is what is so amazing about the ebbs and flows of a 162, which is the roller coaster of a baseball season. I can scream bloody murder here and tell you how bad this team is for 2 weeks straight as he loses 14 of 16 games. Then I can also tell you, at the same time in the same breath, that all it takes is a heater to get this team going. And they're on a heater. They're winning the ball games they're supposed to win. They're beating the teams that they know are their biggest problem in the NL East right now. This is what you needed. It's very faint. The Mets go 500 on the road against Atlanta and the Nats, bottom feeders in the National League East. But as soon as they play the Philadelphia Phillies, they're like, let's go beat them up just like we did in the NLDS last year. Let's go beat them up like we have done countless times since Steve Cohen has become owner of this Mets team. The Mets are the Phillies' daddy until proven otherwise. There's not a Phillies fan out there that can tell you otherwise. I'm going to give so much hell to my buddy Jonah. He knows who he is. One of my best friends is named Jonah. He's a diehard Phillies fan. It's prime time to rag on his ass at times like this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that post-game once we're done with this post-game today, everybody. Thank you for the donations. Goody says with a $5, after watching Jobs Wardy, I'm heading to Broads to watch that. Oh, absolutely have a blast. Everyone have a blast when you guys watch the Philly crash outs. Broads Media, he gets free promo from me. I'm sure he's never even said my name before. That's fine. But I'd love to see a schmuck blow up the way that he does on a nightly basis covering Philly sports. Check him out on YouTube. Dave with a $2. Thank you so much for that, Dave. I appreciate that. Send you an email about Alvy. Oh, I know. We're going to break down more on Alvarez in our content tomorrow, everybody. But yes, Francisco Alvarez began his rehab assignment today, and you want to know what happened? He had himself a double to begin the ball game, and he was pulled from the ball game. Why? Because some sorry mother effer pitching against Alvy in AAA today had a sinker 90 miles per hour run up and in on his hands. Wow, color me shocked. It's almost like Alvarez, who needs surgery on that right thumb as is, was in excruciating pain when getting drilled on the hands. He exited the ball game. We're going to wait and see what the status is of Alvarez. Hopefully it's nothing overly concerning there, but my God, did that suck, and I really do hope he's okay, because he was swinging the bat perfectly fine up until that happened. We're going to break that down again more in content tomorrow, everybody. Do not miss out on it when we get into our latest update segment, because a lot's happened. A lot of key updates regarding not only Alvarez, but Jesse Winker, which is crazy to say. I did not think that we would have a Jesse Winker positive update, but we do here on August 27, 2025. Jose Siri, same applies. A lot of Mets land to break down that we most certainly are going to. Tom Friday, too. I know we're feeling spoiled, Jay. We're feeling electric right now. The boys came to play. The bats came to play. And not only did the bats come to play against Taijuan Walker, but they were killing them by paper cuts. The same way that the Mets beat up on Yon Duran yesterday with single. It's the same exact way for the most part that they beat up on Taijuan Walker in that third inning. You get a hit. You get a hit. You get a hit. All these hits led to the Mets getting that early 3-0 lead in this ball game, and they would continue to tack on. And not only did Jeff McNeil have one of the best catches you'll ever see from a center fielder, and mind you, McNeil has not played a lot of center field much this year, which is what made it 10 times more impressive. Lummy McKitts, he's been an absolute phenom, but it's Marky V, it's Swaggy V, it's Daddy V. Just when you thought that Mark Vientos' his hit streak was going to come close to 10 games but fall short, he says, no, we're making sure it gets to 10 games. Mark Vientos with an RBI and a 2-run ding-dong late in this ball game to put the nails in the coffin and the icing on the cake. The Phillies had one job entering this series, and that was to bury the Mets' chances at staying alive in the NL East. And instead, they opened the floodgates. They decided to kick that door open and say, let's make things more difficult than we needed to, i.e. being the Phillies and their fans. I know they're going through it right now. I love that for them, and I even love this greater for us. Oscar with a $2. I was at the game, and it felt like a playoff game. How can it not? I hope you had an electric time, my guy. Thank you so much for chiming in and donating there. We're going to break down this ball game at great length, everything that you guys need to know about it here in just the next couple minutes, guys. But again, please make sure to continue to smash that like and subscribe on your way in. I got to ask you guys, temperature check right away. How we feeling right now? On a scale of 1 to 10, guys, how confident are you in this Mets team to still win the Mets division? Do you think that the Mets are going to actually win the division this year after seeing this statement series, the biggest, the most dominant series victory history of the year by far, bar none. Nothing else even comes close to what the Mets just did over the past 3 days. I want to know, what is your confidence level that the boys are going to take the NL East in the end? Spam in the chat right now. How are you feeling? This is as big of a start. This is as big of a effing series as you could possibly ask. That is why my veins are popping out, and probably will for the next 20 minutes, because I can't hold back. This has been such an absolutely fantastic treat to watch. After the Mets again roll over, have another lackadaisical series there, 2 series on the road. The Mets are garbage on the road this year, even when their underlying offensive numbers are great. Listen, the pitching needs to step up, and they're getting that. David Stern said it himself to the media the past day. We got to prioritize the best players in our organization. That's why Joe Natan's getting the call. That's why Brandon Sprout will inevitably get the call over this next week or so. The boys are not only getting reinforcements and the guys on rehab stints right now, but they're getting young, high upside arms, top pitching prospect arms that are not only looking good, but I think we can all agree, Nolan McLean has better stuff than any Mets starter in this rotation. Kodai Senga doesn't even sniff him. If you take Senga's ghost fork away, he's just some Joe Schmo that's barely a borderline MLB pitcher. I don't think I'm kind of out of pocket for saying that, because it's true. His ghost fork is usually unhittable when it's right. It's one of, if not the best put-out pitch in baseball. Without it, Senga has little to nothing. Nolan McLean, in his back pocket, has 3, 4, 5 effing pitches, 3 of which, at least, that have absurd spin rate. Headlined not only by the nasty sweeper, then you have the harder slider. The curveball just simply is not fair. This man looks unbelievable. And yes, we're buying enough stock in 3 starts to say, give this man a 10-year extension. He's 24, same age as me. I'm just a schmuck yapping about the guy. This guy's going out towing the rubber effortlessly. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you're going to do. All we know is that Nolan McLean is here to dominate exactly you. Thank you so much, Dave, with a $5 Philly Frauds with a PH. Love to see it. Love to see that. Thank you so much. I have been a Swaggy V defender all season. I'm so proud of you for that. To all of our Swaggy V defenders, you guys deserve massive kudos. I told you guys I did not want Vientos traded in a deal for Robert. I understood why Vientos was in trade rumors. The Mets weren't going to utilize him properly. You might as well trade him, even though his value was fairly low. The Mets decided not to do that, and oh my goodness gracious, what a smart decision that was. Mark Vientos is on a 10-game heater right now, and since the beginning of August, this man, again, has pretty much been in a beautiful class that we haven't seen. Facing lefties especially, since the beginning of August, Mark Vientos is 8 for 20, 3 home runs, 3 doubles, 6 RBIs. Yeah, I'm going to go on a limb and say that Mark Vientos is not only back, but he's locked in. This is a Mark Vientos that had every Phillies fan shaking in their boots last year, as we saw in the NLDS. Because even when Vientos had some costly errors at third base, it didn't matter. Because he's like, let me just go ahead and fix myself and save things by hitting a bomb. Let's go ahead and hit another bomb. Every single night, we are waiting for the Marky V, Swaggy V moment. And for 10 consecutive games, he has done exactly that. Whether it's 1 clutch RBI opposite field, whether it's a 2-run ding-dong oppo or pulled, whether it's a double pulled down the third baseline, whatever the case may be, Mark Vientos has been there in more ways than one. And his defense, while it hasn't been great, has been fine enough to keep things not as a liability there in the hot corner as of late. So again, if it ain't broke, why fix it? We saw what Carlos Mendoza did tonight, and with the exception of McNeil in center field, they are rolling with the same hot lineup every single time out there, and how can you not? This team is cooking. Their offensive numbers are insane. Shout out to my guy, great member in the chat here, Steve Lawn, if you guys know Steve. Steve messaged me pre-show today, and he said, here, use this for postgame. I am. He said, Mets offensive runners and scoring position numbers since August 1st. The Mets have the #1 batting average now at 358. They have the second highest OPS at over 1,000. They have the second best WRC plus, which grades that out of a scale of 100. If you're above 100, you're above league average. If you're below 100, you're below league average. Folks, the Mets are at 180, pretty damn good. They're almost twice above league average there. We also see they are third with 100 plus runs scored since the beginning of August. So the greatest woe that's plagued this Mets team offensively all season long is no longer plaguing them. That's massive. Okay, you check off that box. Now the next box you gotta check off is rotation, is the length from your starters. And this is where David Stern's finally being proactive, done with the conservatism. He's calling up McLean. He's calling up Ton. Sproat won't be long behind him. Now it comes down to the bullpen. Getting Ryan Helsley's ass right, making proper decisions on that from everybody. But folks, when I tell you that we are all the way back, it is such an understatement. Gangster with a $2 holla, getting hot at the right time. LGM, keep it going. You said it, baby. Jonah with the $2 holla. Mets cannot go out and lose 3-4 against Miami. I agree. The Mets need to curb stomp them. They need to make a statement. The Mets can't go out here and sweep the Phillies and then have a sold-out crowd starting tomorrow night, and they will for certain have a sold-out crowd beginning tomorrow against the Marlins and all into the weekend. They cannot have that happen while rolling over and maybe only winning 2 out of 4. No, the Mets have to win 3 out of the next 4 games against the Marlins. That's mandatory after you take down the Phillies the way that the Mets just did. Talk about a statement. My goodness, my God, my gracious, the Mets are here to stay. Billy Dottie with a $5 holla. I'm legit going to do a backflip a ton. Is anything close to this? Just some unbelievable stuff. This guy's inspiring the entire team and fan base. And again, what's so good about McLean is how effortless he is. He looks so effortless. Everything about him and his game has you acting like a kid in a candy shop. How can you not feel ecstatic about what Nolan McLean is doing today, everybody? He's looking so damn good. He really is. By next week, Wednesday, we are in oh, I hope so. I hope so, Edward. He didn't say it, but he's thinking it. Starts with an F in regards to the Mets, what placement they'll be in the division. Gotta hope, everybody. Gotta hope. But, guys, I want to break down this ball game. I want to get to your comments. Shout out to all of our live members and recurring viewers. Hit that like and subscribe button on your way in, everybody. Help us get to 500-plus likes for live and recurring viewers. We have north of 1,000 people in here. All you guys got to do is half of you guys, basically, hit that like and subscribe button. If more than half of you do it, I'd greatly appreciate it. If you enjoy the content, smash those buttons. Thank you guys so much for that. And folks, before we break down this ball game and get into all the amazing things that happened in this 6-0 victory and this series sweep, let's hear a quick word from yours truly as we have our amazing sponsor to break down today, that being at Raycon. All right, folks, before we move forward into today's video or live stream, let's first give a quick shout out to our amazing sponsor on the platform today, that being at Raycon. Because I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, I absolutely love it when you have your favorites come back better. Because now they have their fan favorite everyday earbuds, classic model, including their great partnership with Major League Baseball that we're going to break down here, now coming back better than ever, this time with active noise cancellation. That noise cancellation has been huge for someone like myself that's been utilizing these puppies for my red-eye flight there, especially the last time that I went out west a couple months ago. I went from LA back to Philadelphia, and I needed these all night long, and they lasted me all night long because they have themselves a strong 8 hours of playtime to work with, which is massive, and a 32-hour battery, so you know that you are locked and loaded when it comes to Raycon. Now, I know what you guys are wondering. Okay, what kind of teams here? Well, I'm not promoting the Mets, folks. I'm promoting Yankees earbuds. And before you say, Wardy, what are you doing? I'm clicking off this thing right now. I wouldn't blame you, but this is the perfect gift for your loved ones, your friends, your family, etc., that are diehard fans of rival teams. Because this isn't not just in regards to the Yankees, they have the Phillies, and they have plenty others as well. I'm like, let's mix it up this time around, and let's actually break down what I think is a perfect gift for our friends in the baseball community. Because I have some of my closest friends in the community, especially our diehard Yankees fans. So I'm going to be so happy to hook them up with these kind of earbuds, the way that you guys can get in on as well, should you have interest to do so. And as you guys can see right here, I have one in at the moment. That's what you got inside there with the Raycons. They're so comfortable. That's what I love most about them, is that it's such a seamless fit. So again, folks, whether you want to show your own team pride, if you're watching this and are, say, a Yanks fan, especially a Phillies fan, among many others that you can rep there with our awesome friends at Raycon with their everyday earbuds, or folks, if you just want to make sure that you have a perfect gift for your friend, your loved one, as much as you despise these teams, it is an absolutely perfect gift to hook up your friends, especially if they're a fan of these rival clubs. So make sure that you guys, again, head over there to buyraycon.com/WardyNYM to get 20% off the best-selling everyday earbuds brought to you by Raycon, everybody. Shout out to them once more. Can't thank them enough for the endless support. All right, guys, I will just say first and foremost, for any of you that don't like the idea of Yankees earbuds or Phillies earbuds, that's perfectly fine. But I purposely want to promote this today because I literally gifted my good buddy Joda for his birthday Phillies earbuds, thanks to our great friends at Raycon. My buddy Pat, who actually edited that ad that you guys just watched right there, I'm gifting my Yankees earbuds to him as well, everybody. So again, I know we love Mets things here as well, but I know that you have loved ones and friends who you absolutely hate their fandom, but you respect the fact that they have their fandom, and you love to hate them at the same time. Hook them up with their birthdays, with the holidays, whatever you need. Check out Raycon once more, guys, and thank you guys kindly for that. Let's get to these donations real quick, and let's break down this ball game, everybody. We We got Day Train here with a $2. I'm absurdly excited for Tom. You and I both, my guy. You and I both. McLean, more like Nolan McRyan. What a stud. I wouldn't go that far, everybody. But my goodness, my God, my gracious. Let's get into this, guys. Oh, God, you're an idiot. You're going to call me a sellout when I'm literally promoting an MLB partnered product? What are you yapping about? What are you yapping about, you schmucks? Come on. Get your head in the game. Casey with a $10 holla. It's amazing how having some good starting pitching suddenly leads to wins. It was the recipe of success last year and the recipe this year. If Minaya and Senga can find just half their ceiling at LFGM, Minaya is the big thing. Senga, we know he's been broken really since returning from injury. Minaya's kind of been the same way, but I just need Minaya out of everything. I really do need Minaya to go out there and give us at least one outing of 6 innings. That would be great. It would be really appreciated, at least for me personally. Juliet with the $5 holla. Thank you so much for that, Juliet. The Mets need to take note of what the Yankees did the Nats to do the same to the Marlins. 1,000%. Couldn't agree more. We know the pummeling that just happened there. Edward with the $10 holla. Thank you so much, Edward. He states the following: by next week, Wednesday. Oh, that's right. You're saying going back to first place. I got you. Rick Cuban is feeling electric right now with the lobsters in the chat. How are we doing, everybody? We got Brandon. We got Rebecca, great member. Steve Long, great member. All you guys. And Steve, shout out to you for the reminder as well. I want to give a big shout out as well, because I know he's going to see this, to the Doc himself, Doc Gooden, everybody, because today was the 40th anniversary of Mr. Doc Gooden being the youngest player ever at the young age of 20 to record 20 wins. Shout out to Doc Gooden, one of the best legends to ever, of course, be a part of this Mets franchise. And when we think of pitching, and when we think of dominance, guys, outside of Noah Syndergaard, who was in fact 22 years of age, believe it or not, when he made his debut for the Mets, Jonathan now is going to be entering that category as some of the heralded top pitching prospects for the Mets to make their debut at 22 or younger. Outside of Noah Syndergaard, the last prominent pitcher for the Mets, for the most part, was in fact Doc Gooden at the young age of 19 or so. So again, guys, hopefully we see history continue, because if we see history repeat itself, that means that the Mets are going to get something special here in Jonah, as long as he doesn't break down as early as Noah Syndergaard did, and as long as he dominates and is as successful as early as Doc Gooden was. We love to see it. Noah McLean is showing exactly why this man is already one of the better pitchers in all the National League. I mean, the spin rate is through the roof. His confidence, the aura that oozes out of this man is what makes him so special more than anything that I see with Noah McLean. He goes out there, he gives you the punches, he gives you the FU fastballs. He knows exactly how to command the strike zone. It is absurd. Call down Wardy Day. Big Don will be great. Oh, Sergeant, I'm so glad he did, baby. Thank you so much for being a great supporter as always, brother. Again, always a pleasure, my guy. And you did call it. It's kind of crazy. Seriously, Jonathan gained the call over Brandon Sproat. I know it didn't happen over McLean, but the fact that it happened before Sproat just tells you how dominant he's been. The Mets reached the point where their hands were forced. They had to call him up, because if they didn't call him up now, what are they going to? Then they have to, because he's looked so darn good. I am absurdly excited indeed, Day Train. Thank you so much for those donations. All right, guys, we've been yapping. We've been hyped up, rightfully so, for the past north of a half hour at the time you guys watching this live on a replay. So it's about time that we break down what made this game so special. What separated Noah McLean from the rest, from your average Joe Schmo of a starter? That's what we're going to go ahead and break down. Mario with a $5 holla. McLean, Elmo, and the mics are out to sweep the Phils. Also kind of want to get those new hats from the center field shop, but I can't after work. Only games. Well, make sure that you do it on a day where you're not attending there. Otherwise, you're not attending game, work-wise, but rather just as a fan. That's what I would say. But thank you so much for the donation, as always. Mad Team, how does Alvy get hit in the hand? Again, unfortunately, it's terrible luck. The good news, however, is that from what I saw, I do believe Alvarez got hit on the hand that is not as bad as his actual hand that has the need for surgery. I think he was more drilled on his left hand. Again, it isn't good. He's had hand problems both ways, everybody. Oh my goodness gracious. I just saw the pitch profiler stats here for Noah McLean. I'm going to wait to break them down for you guys once we actually finish breaking down McLean's start today, because it was so darn good. Mad Team, thank you again for the donations, guys. All right, let's break it down together, class. Let's get into it. Let's act like kids in a candy shop the way that I'm going to continue to this entire damn stream. How can I not? They look so damn good tonight. Again, towing the rubber against the Mets, his former friend, now foe, and Taiwan Walker. Ty's Tacos, more like Ty's Meatballs is what he served up today, everybody. But in the first, we saw a 1-2-3 for Noah McLean, striking out Trey, a grounder on Kyle, and a flyout on Bryce. In the bottom of the first for the Mets, they go down in order. So early work for Taiwan Walker. That would not last. In the second inning, it's a 1-2-3 for Philadelphia, in the sense that they were out here in on three batters. Alec Boehm got on with a one-out single, but that's a double play by Max Kepler to end the inning. In the second inning, WardyNYM leads off the inning with a single. That's all she wrote, as we would see Vientos strike out and nothing else happens after. In the third, Nikki C strikes out looking. Bryson Stott flies out, and Harrison Bader swings and misses. He's out of here. We're through 3 at the minimum for Nolan, Cowboy, Ohtani, McLean. As we get to the bottom of the third, everybody, Brett Baty leads off the inning with his 11th double this season, and the Mets would pounce. They would take advantage of that runner in scoring position as Francisco Lindor would come in and drive him in with an RBI single. That makes it 1-0 Mets, and let's make it 2-0 Mets. Juan Soto finally starting to step up with runners in scoring position. Entered tonight's game with right around a 215 average in that regard, and he made it a 2-0 ball game that we saw there with a single up the middle. Soto would then probably steal his 22nd bag of the year for Mr. 22, most stolen bags in his career by far, and Juan Soto. Pete Alonso said, we're going to kill them. Again, death by paper cuts here to Taijuan Walker, and that would be another single there. That makes it a 3-0 Metropolitan lead. A 3-piece in the third is what the Mets put up, and we got ourselves to the 4th inning after Vientos grounds into an inning-ending double play. We would see Noel McLean yet again, a 1, a 2, a 3. Sayonara. At the bottom of the 4th, everybody, we would see Starling Marte would be bunted for a ground out. Then Brett Baty gets on with a single, but that's all she wrote for the inning. In the 5th inning, a 1-2-3 yet again, facing the minimum is Noel McLean every single time, it feels like. In the bottom of the 5th, Francisco Lindor would lead off the inning there with a single, everybody. However, Lindor would be out at second base, sadly, for trying to pull a Harrison Bader. If you guys remember Bader from his first season and the only season with the Mets last year, Bader was caught multiple times trying to leg a single into a double. And how ironic and how fitting it is that the reason as to why Lindor was thrown out at second was because of Harrison Bader with the perfect throw there to Trey Turner. You just can't make it up sometimes. The same way that you can't make up Alvy getting drilled on the hand today that I'm going to depressingly talk more about tomorrow. Hopefully there's nothing too concerning there, but we're going to wait to find out further word on that front. Alonso got on with a walk afterwards. Nimmo got on with a single. This is all 2-out work by this Mets team. Then you say 2-out hitting? That's where Mark Vientos steps up. Guys, why have the Mets been so Jekyll and Hyde with runners in scoring position until the past month and a half? It's because they haven't had Swaggy V, who is Mr. Clutch Gene himself all summer long last year. Say what you will about Lindor, say what you will about Iglesias, but guys, there was very few batters in this Mets lineup a year ago that were as clutch down the stretch with 2 outs as Mark Vientos was. Vientos this year is putting up those similar numbers yet again, everybody, as of late. He would poke himself a single to make it a 4-0 Metropolitan lead. As we would then get into the 6th inning, Noel McLean, 3 up, 3 down, baby, not a problem. In the bottom of the 6th, everybody, we would see 3-1-2, that being a Marte and Baty would strike out. Hayden Singer works a 2-out walk, and then Lindor would fly out to end the inning. Here comes the 7th inning, guys. Noel McLean enters the 7th at right around like 55 pitches. Unfathomable. When was the last time a Mets starter entered the 7th inning? Because it has not happened this season. When was the last time, I know someone knows this, that a Mets starter went into the 7th inning and didn't even throw 60 pitches yet? Because this is stupid good. What do we see, guys? A ground out on Trey, a ground out on Kyle Schwarber, and a single given up to Bryce Harper, but it does not matter. JT would pop out in the infield to end it for the inning. At the bottom of 7th, guys, here comes the New York Mets. They want to add more, so what happens? WardyNYM with the 2-out hitting, and Mark Vientos said, say less, everybody. Marky V gets himself a meatball. What does he get served up? He gets himself an absolutely massive, roughly 430-foot bomb, 109 off the bat. When you get a 92-mile-per-hour meatball by the lefty and Banks, sometimes, again, you're going to know exactly what's going to happen. And in the split of an instance, I said to myself, Vientos is going to perform well here in this at-bat. I didn't know if he was going to get a home run, but I love the matchup. He eats up lefties for breakfast, especially soft-tossing lefties that have nothing to give, i.e. Tanner Banks. Banks throws one, it's high, it's far, and it's gone. It's a 2-run shot, his 13th of the year. Mark Vientos puts the Mets up 6-0, and they would never look back in this ball game. His 13th home run of the year, everybody, puts the Mets up big time. As we enter the 8th inning, guys, here comes Noel McLean. Cowboy Ohtani's trying to work a scoreless inning. He gives up back-to-back singles to lead off the inning to Alec Bowman, Max Kepler. Runners are at the corners, everybody, less than 2 out. What happens next? Nikki C flies out. Bryson Stott flies out. Harrison Bader grounds out. He strands him at third with no outs. Are you kidding me? Nolan McLean, have yourself a day, baby. Nolan McLean is done in this one, but not before absolutely carving up everybody and their mother. Nolan McLean's final line today, as you guys can see, and I know I've been loud in this one. I know I've been pretty obnoxious. I apologize. It's impossible for me not to be when I'm this amped up because the Mets are playing this good when we haven't seen this at all this season. When was the last time the Mets had a game where they had a starter look this damn good when the offense is comfortable? I'm trying to think, how was the Mets offense in the game that David Pearson had 10 strikeouts and won 8 strong innings? I don't remember how the offense was there. Maybe that's the other game. Regardless, loving what I'm seeing, everybody. And when we break down what was nothing short of a jaw-droppingly good arsenal by Nolan McLean today, everybody, let me enlighten you with the following in this one. Let me pull up the stats right here, right now, because this was the one thing that I did not have set in time as I was getting live for this one. But guys, Nolan McLean is the truth. He is the real deal, and he is most certainly not going anywhere. As we break down McLean, he had how many pitches today? 6 pitches in the arsenal cooking. The sweeper, 28% in the arsenal. Topped out 88, sat 86, and he topped out 3,100 on the spin rate and sat right around 2,900 there on the RPMs. The sinker, 21% of the arsenal. Topped out 96.5. Sat right around 94 and sat right around 2,100 on the spin rate. The curveball at 19% of the arsenal, topped out 82, sat right around 80, and was right around 3,200 on the spin rate. Four-seam fastball, 16% of the arsenal, topped out 96, sat 95, and sat right around 2,300 on the rate. Changeup, 9% of the arsenal, topped out 91, sat right around 87, and that was also topped out at 2,600 and sat right around 1,700 there on the rate. And last but not least, the cutter at 6%, topped out 92, sat right around 90, and also sat right around 2,500. Again, the spin rate darling came to play today, everybody. Nolan McLean, without hesitation, after allowing just 4 measly singles, no walks, no earned runs, no nothing, just pure dominance against the NL East leading Philadelphia Phillies. Nolan McLean, everybody, is getting a strong and absolutely strong. We're going there. 9 out of 10. We have to go 9 out of 10. This was as good as they come. You cannot ask for much of a better start than what Nolan McLean just gave to you today. The only other exception is a complete game shutout. A no-no. That's basically it. That is how good, how dazzling, how dominant, how consistent, how comfortable, and most importantly, how confident Nolan McLean looked on the mound today for this Mets team. Now with a .89 ERA throughout his first 3 starts in just over 20 innings, you have to say to yourself as a Mets fan, is Nolan McLean going to toe the rubber for game 1, the wild card? Should the Mets crack the wild card? Maybe not. Maybe they're going to, after right to win the division still, and he'll be part of that. What I do know is that unless something drastically changes over the next, I don't know, let's say north of a month, right? If something drastically changes, okay. Until then, McLean is undoubtedly your game 1 or game 2 starter. How can he not be? The kid's composed. He's so poised there. He's so confident. I can't get over him, and I know you guys can't get over him either. So shout out Nolan McLean. What an absolute stud he was. Wheeling and dealing on the bump today. Shout out to my guy Rich McLeod in the chat as well. If you guys don't know Rich, he does a very good job there covering the Mets as well, not only on the writing front but also on the podcasting front. I joined him for their latest Just Mets podcast over this past week. You guys can check it out, even though I will say it's kind of aged like milk in the best way possible already, because the first half of the show was us yapping about everything wrong with this Mets team and how it's so doom and gloom. Now there's probably not a chance to go win the division unless they go out and prove us wrong. Well, folks, they proved us wrong. Not only did they prove me wrong, they said, Wardy, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about, kid. It's a 162. What, you're going to unofficially write us off already? You're an idiot. And to that, I say, okay, fine, you got me. Q Drewski with his hands up. You got me. Shit, okay, I understand. Listen, the Mets are good. They're really good. Their offense is electric. Their pitching looks nails. Their bullpen's getting the job done. All right, I get it. Stop yelling at me. Please. I just want to see the Mets succeed, okay? But guys, how are we feeling? Nolan McLean dazzling in this one. As we continue on, it's a bomb in the 8th inning. It's a 1-2-3 for the Mets offense. And the 9th, Brooks really, more like the Bulldog himself, and really comes in. He gives up a leadoff single to Trey Turner, who gives a shit. It's a strikeout on Schwarber. It's a flyout on Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper, nowhere to be seen this entire series. Kyle Schwarber, you there, buddy? You want the Mets to sign you this offseason? You're not doing anything to instill confidence that we should go out of our way for you. I wanted you for the longest time, Schwarber. Give us a greater reason to give us to want to say, hey, we want you. Right now, you look terrible. Bryce Harper is soft. I gotta say it. Listen, this Phillies team, in a nutshell, this Phillies team, guys, and this has nothing to do with Zach Wheeler going down with injury for the rest of the year. This is a now. Listen to the following. The Phillies at home have the second best OPS in baseball. Second best. right? The Mets have the 11th best OPS in baseball at home entering tonight's game. On the road, the Philadelphia Phillies 21st entering this game in OPS. The Mets 6th. Crazy enough, the Mets are north of 10 games below 500 on the road. The Phillies, I know, are below 500 on the road as well. They're not looking good, especially after getting swept by the Mets today. But it's kind of crazy. For all those all those fair weather, all those just pea-brain Philadelphia fans, and I hope you're watching this right now, you schmucks. I know you're going to come back and talk a lot of smack on me. Should you curb stomp us in the 4-game set in September? I'll be in attendance. Might as well say to my face, let's chop it up. Let's have some cordial conversation or get animated. I don't give a rat's ass. I'm entering your den. What are you going to do about it? To continue that conversation, though, everybody, when we talk about the Philadelphia Phillies and we talk about this Mets team, what do we see? You see a lot of fans on social media right now saying, oh, the Mets are clearly cheating. How can their numbers be this good at home? Buddy, your numbers are better at home than the Mets. Maybe look in the mirror to say, oh my God, am I the cheater? Because look, you have a greater advantage at home statistically on the offensive front than the Mets and most teams in baseball. So don't try to pull that sorry-ass card when you're the same Phillies that have clearly been a better team at home for this entire core group of your dominance. There's been no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Phillies are great at home. They have a really electric fan base. I despise them, but they have an electric fan base. They show up for their team every single time out there, and they're going to let it rip when they don't perform well. We can appreciate that as Mets fans too, because we do the same exact thing. The point stands. At home, the Phillies have no pressure. They're comfortable. They're where they want to be. On the road, they're shaking their boots. Q, what's his face there, sitting in the back of the bus from that Simpsons scene where he's like, haha, I'm in danger. That is literally the Phillies every single time they enter Flushing, Queens. They have no clue how to handle this Mets team. They have no clue. And the Mets can smell the fear. They're like Bruce when that first drop of blood hits the water in Finding Nemo. The pupils enlarge. You say to yourself, oh my God, we're about to get destroyed. And listen, Bruce is going through therapy, but therapy's only going to help so much. He's going to go out and eat. He's going to pounce. This is what this Mets team is doing. They're smelling the fear. And these Philadelphia schmuck Phillies is what we're smelling right now. What we're smelling is a whole lot of ass as the Phillies just got swept in 3 games. And yes, we're talking the talk. We're going to walk the walk right now. If the Mets get curb stomped in Philadelphia, I'll be the first to tell you that, yeah, unfortunately, this is the nature of the game. It's going to happen. I will gladly take it from Phillies fans that want to talk hell against me, talk smack. But this is the part where I get to stand up and talk smack on you, because I've had comments all season long, especially the past 2 months, from a lot of fans saying, oh, the Mets stand no chance this year. You really thought they had a chance over the Phillies this year? Again, I know they got to get off. This is the World Series during the regular season. They don't have much to show, and I know I'm also a hypocrite for saying that because, listen, the Mets and the Phillies both haven't won a whole lot, but the Phillies did win a World Series, at least in my lifetime. I can't say the same about the Mets. So I'll take that. That's fine, but we're having fun here. Rivalries is what makes this game so good. I can't get over the fact that rivalries are as much of an impact as they are, because that's what gets me and my juices flowing as a fan. I love this. Without the rivalries, I feel like we are missing so much in today's game, which is exactly why I love and appreciate the Philadelphia Phillies. I know you might say, Wardy, I don't know what you're smoking, but pass it here because it has to be some strong stuff. Seriously, I'm being serious for a second. I love the Phillies to death because they make my fandom so much better. It pisses me off 10 times more when we lose to Philadelphia, but it feels 10 times better when we win. I will take that dopamine hit, that euphoria, and that depression 10 times over 10 over just playing some basic-ass baseball where you're playing teams where nothing matters, or the playoff push doesn't matter, being a sorry team like the White Sox every year where you're just playing for the sake of playing, but nothing else really matters. I hate that. This is what's so awesome about baseball. Rivalries. They will always be one of my sticking points as a fan personally. We got our guy with the $2 holla. If Tom does his thing, we're winning the World Series. I'm not going to go that far. Again, pass it. That has to be some good stuff right now. Pass it. But I'm not going to go there yet. I love the optimism, though. I do. 180 from a week ago. Michael with the hundo. Oh, my God, Michael. What happened? Michael, you hit the lotto. You're being generous here, Michael. Well, you are way too kind, first and foremost. Guys, can we please get a spam of love and the hype in the chat for our guy, Michael, with the $100 donation? Are you kidding me? Wow, that's very kind of you. Seriously, I do nothing to deserve that, but thank you so much. It's always humbling. I'm always very grateful. Everyone that supports the platform, all the dollars that you spend in donations and watching the ads, to make sure that you watch them through because that helps with ad revenue, for supporting our sponsors like you guys should by checking out Raycon, everybody, that we promoted earlier in the show. Same thing with SeatGeek with our promo code, and Mumu. All those things go such a long way because they keep the show afloat here so I can do this and cover them on a daily basis for you guys. Without this, guys, unfortunately, without a certain amount of funding, we can't keep this afloat because I'm a dad. This is my full-time job, and this is exactly how I keep everything steady and going. It's all thanks to you, the amazing Mets fans. I never ask for donations or anything like that, but no, it's always greatly appreciated. So seriously, all I can say is thank you. It's beyond humbling. Michael, keep up the great work. Been watching your videos every day, just haven't been on when you're live. Have been commenting while you're off the air. Big fan of the Mets and you. Really does mean a lot. Again, thank you so much for that, Michael. God bless you and yours. Once more, thank you kindly for that donation. Seriously, that not only helps make my night, but it just is reaffirming that this Mets team really might be special. We're getting Mets fans who a week ago were on the cliff about to jump off to a week later throwing $100 at a Mets fan just because of how hyped up you are and how much you appreciate the content. Greatly appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, guys, as we continue on in here, baby, let's get the vibes going. We got the W's and the hype, as well going in the chat. Things you absolutely love to see, everybody. But I want to hear from you, Mets fans. I want to know unequivocally, how are you feeling right now? What is the temperature check? And honestly, I got to ask too, who is your star of the series in this one? Who is the star of the series for the Mets here in the 3 games? You want to know who my star is? It's the same star that I had over the past week entering this series. It's swaggy mother effing Vientos. Mark Vientos is Mr. Steady. Every single game, Mark is stepping up in more ways than one. NYM, let me see. I did not see your donation. Let me go up and check. Let's see. Oh, MacDow, thank you for the donation. Stranding the runner at third with no outs to secure the shutout and complete the sweep. Sad ride back to Philly. Absolutely. Thank you so much for the donation. Yeah, that was electric. It really was. Let's see here. Crazy how the biggest concern was the walks with McLean. He hasn't walked anyone in his last 2 starts. Kind of a big deal. Out with a 2 holla. You get a win. You get a win. You get a win. And you get a win. Thank you guys for those donations. I know. Trust me, I'm still pissed off about Alvarez. I'm well aware. Hopefully he's okay, though. But Mark Vientos is my player of the series. How can he not be? Again, you're on a 10-game hit streak right now. Buddy has been an absolute phenom. Nolan McLean is the pitcher of the series, but that goes without saying. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. And thank you so much, all man, for chiming in for the first time. We appreciate that. Something that I'm very grateful for is how much I feel like I'm able to resonate well with a large contingent of Mets fans, because I think we all feel in similarity. What I rag about, how I act, goes in direct hand with how I'm emotionally feeling in the moment. I think my emotions are not only stand true for me, but for thousands of Mets fans. If that's at all an indictment of the Mets now having, pardon me, not the Mets, but rather us having a subscriber count of roughly 35,000 people over the past 5 years. Like, I think I'm doing something right, at least, with at least telling you guys exactly how you know you probably feel. But maybe you can't kick and scream when the Mets are losing because you got to deal with people needing to be quiet in the house. Maybe you can't scream to the rooftops with excitement because you're busy at work or you got something else going on and you just can't voice exactly how you're feeling. I am trying to be that perfect bridge for you guys to be a voice of reason while also being completely all over the place with my emotions, because like most of you, everybody, I too am emotionally erratic. I too do not have my emotions in check at all. It's unhealthy. It's not right. Shout out to BetterHelp. Utilize them for online therapy. They're not even a sponsor on the platform. They have been in the past there, and they're a great product. Check them out, guys, because I know we need therapy sometimes after Mets losses, the same way that honestly we just need to come together as a community after a big victory, a serious sweep, the way that we just did against this Philadelphia Phillies team. Let's see here with the donations. Overrated Phillies are Def City Field spooked. Oh my God, yes. I was even just telling my buddy Jonah again, who's the Phillies fan, and we were talking about this not long ago and saying that every time the Phillies go into Citi Field, it's like they have the Sunday scaries. Like, they just don't know. They're so rattled. And I love that. I don't remember, again, this is like the first time as a Mets fan for me that I've seen a team that's good, that, again, fear the Mets the way that the Phillies apparently do. Like, there's no denying that they fear them. They have no clue how to approach us at home. They will figure it out eventually. And that may happen come postseason time. But, guys, you know what I say? I need Philadelphia round 1. We all need Philadelphia round 1. If the Mets find themselves playing the Phillies round 1 in playoffs, I'm not complaining. If the Mets lose in the end, I'm asking for it. That's the matchup that the Mets want on paper. We want to see 2 of the best in the NL East go toe-to-toe right away, have a bloodbath, and see who's going to win. Whether it's a 3-game set or something greater, that is yet to be seen. All I'm telling you is I want Philly. I'm saying this now as we still have a 4-game set in Philadelphia, and we very well could lose 3 out of 4 that series. But until we lose 3 out of 4 that series, I am riding effing high right now. And I know Eric Chavez says, I don't hear Mets fans complaining about the hitting. Yeah, he's acting like, you know what Eric Chavez is acting like? And I'm going to just say this. This is not to rag on anyone but Eric. Eric, buddy, you're the same man who's had this Mets offense with the largest payroll in baseball outside the Dodgers for the most part, underperforming for the vast majority of the season. You're the same man that has been so Jekyll and Hyde in the Mets offensive production over the years. Yeah, you mean to tell me that you're going to act on a high horse? Eric posted on Instagram yesterday, which is what he typically does, a little post on his story of saying, it's funny I can't hear anyone yapping right now for the most part. It's summarized along those lines. My response to this is, Eric, and I hope you see this, buddy, why do you have to act like you got an A on the group project when we all know that your ass did nothing to help contribute, okay? Just because the Mets finally got on a heater, finally getting the kids to make proper adjustments, and finally getting the veterans to show up, unless we find out come later this season or in the offseason that Per Wolf, Sam of the Athletic, or someone along those lines stated in a great article that Eric Chavez and Jeremy Barnes made proper adjustments that severely helped this Mets offense. Until we find that out verbatim, shut up. Stop your yapping. You're in part the exact reason as to exactly why we had such shit baseball for all summer long. Again, stop it with the nonsense. You're in the corner. Stop acting like you're part of the squad here, okay? I know the players may love you to a degree, and I'm sure that's true to a degree. Having said that, though, you have been part of the problem. Stop acting like you haven't, okay? Shame on the Mets and us fans for having a reaction of saying, oh my God, it's almost like the Mets have a hitting coach problem when they're severely underperforming with Juan Soto, with Francisco Lindor, and with other key contributions to this offense. It's almost like it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Yeah, here we are yapping about exactly that. Please play Broads Media's clip from yesterday. We can gladly play Broads' clip here in a second. We're going to get to it. But as I said, as I just did that rant on Chavez, I will take that all back and then some if we do find out that Chavez and or Barnes helped make proper adjustments to get this team back on the right track. If that comes out at any point, even the offseason, I will retract all my statements sincerely and apologize to Eric Chavez on the fact that I've lost his ass fired for the vast majority of the season. And it's not just this year that I felt this way about Eric, but I know I'm not the only person that's felt that way either. So that's what I got to say about that, guys. I do want to relay though. Let's go ahead and let's show you guys what was happening at least yesterday with our guy Broads. We're going to see if he has a reaction yet. He doesn't have a reaction out yet, everybody, but this reaction completely summarizes how every Philadelphia Phillies fan feels. I'm going to go ahead and show you right here, right now. Hit that like and subscribe on your way in, folks. Really do appreciate it. Let's go ahead right here. There's a little mini me here, even smaller than usual. As we continue on, let's pull up Broads here. There is Broads, guys. Okay. Buckle up. Get ready for this audio. It's going to be loud, okay? Say it with me, guys. Get ready. Buckle up. And this was from yesterday, might I add, because he has yet to drop the one. He will drop another one before the night ends, so be on the lookout for it too. Broads Media has right around the same following as me, subscriber count-wise, but he covers the Phillies the way that I cover the Mets. Let's listen to Broads from yesterday and see what he had to say after this series defeat to the New York Mets. Gained so much free promo, it's crazy.
That's the fraud alert! Frauds! Boo! They can't even get it out in the ninth inning. The eighth, Trey Turner with a base runner in scoring position. Bryce again. Ninth inning against Diaz. Seventh inning may have been the worst inning in the history of baseball. Him and Kyle, they each see a pitch. That would be one fucking pitch.
The reason why I die so much when I watch him is because I'm watching myself. He's like the Wardy of Philadelphia. That's exactly how I feel every time I see Broads. Every time he pops up on my timeline, I'm like, oh shit, if I actually held true to being a PA resident that is more in Phillies territory than Mets territory, if I was Wardy PHI, as in the Phillies, or if I was just Wardy Philly, this would be me to a T, exactly what he's doing. So I appreciate, from one content creator to another, the crash outs. We all know exactly how those feelings are. We go through them nightly, but man, is it refreshing when it's finally happening to the opposing team, let alone the rivals, the big, the bad, the Phillies are going to go ahead and take down the NL East, blah, 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 blah. You're a bunch of frauds. Just as your Philly fans said right there. Oh, my God. Oh, that's great. It's great. I got a lot more things I want to pull up, everybody. Let's go ahead and pull up some more things. I got a lot. Oh, it's so refreshing. It's so refreshing. It's so refreshing. You have no idea how refreshing it is to kind of see that kind of reaction from someone else. Oh, my God. But, yeah, I know. He was going to go F-bombs galore. Oh, guys. Oh, my God. The post-game reaction just dropped for the Phillies. Let's watch. Grab your popcorn. We're going back. Shout out to Justin here on X, Mets event page. Appreciate them. Let's go ahead. We're watching this real time. Let's watch. Again, kids, make sure you grab your popcorn. Make sure you have everything ready. They're not going to drop F-bombs, even though they most certainly want to. They're not going to, but they're going to crash out just like what biased post-game analysts would. Let's get to the Philadelphia Phillies and see how they feel after this ball game.
Played better in every aspect of the game. I mean, they did. They hit the ball out of the ballpark more. They played better defense. They ran the bases better. They got timely hitting, runners in scoring position. They were 5 for 8 tonight, 4 for their first 4 tonight with runners in scoring position. Phillies last night, 2 for 10, 1 for 9 the night before. Phillies 0 for 3 tonight.
Yeah.
So these are numbers that are starting to compile up.
You're absolutely right. They didn't deserve to win anything in this series, to be completely honest with you. They went up there, they did not play good fundamental baseball. They didn't pitch well, they didn't hit well. They certainly didn't hit well with runners in scoring position. So I don't know what you expect. Well, what you should expect is them to lose games. And by the way, we had this thing where we were talking about that series against the Mariners and how good the offense was. You know what? Poof. You know what just happened? What just happened? It got reversed on them. Phillies gave up 38 hits in this series. 12, 12, and 14.
So I'll grant you this series against the Mets at Citi Field.
42.
How about the series before? How about the series before that? How about the series before that? How about all those games that they lost at Citi Field, and now it's in their head, it's been in their head, and if they go up there in the playoffs, it has the potential to be a major problem because you know that's all we're going to be talking about. That's what the media does. That's what the opposition does. You're not going to be able to get away from it. Hopefully, it won't be an issue, but it does have the potential.
Was it the matchup or was it the stadium?
I think it was the fact that the Phillies have grown to know that they can't beat the Mets there.
So they're in their heads.
Yeah, I think they're in their heads.
I love it. I love it so much. Shout out Francis, great member in the chat as well. He says, I love watching this from living in PA. Buddy, you're right around the corner from me. We're going to have to connect at some point because I know you're not far, especially from where you just stated that you are exactly. I was watching the broadcast as well because, again, otherwise we're blacked out. But we did get NBC Sports today. And I don't know. Wow, that's actually hilarious, guys. If I wanted to, I'm not going to, but I can actually pull up the post game on my TV right now because it's live. Because like I said, I do get the Phillies broadcast. So let me just go ahead here and see if they're yapping about anything in particular that we want to break down more of. This is so good. This is so good. What a night. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great week. I know I am. This has easily been the best start to the week that I've had in a hot minute right now. And it absolutely goes in hand with my lack of handling my emotions because the Mets dictate my emotions. When the Mets win, I'm happy. When the Mets lose, I'm ready to break everything in between. I feel like I'm not alone in saying that and feeling that, but the point still stands, guys. So, if we get more awesome remarks from the crew there for the Philadelphia Philly postgame show, we'll get into it. Because right now, they're doing, that's actually funny. Oh no, I just changed the channel. I don't want Impractical Jokers. They haven't been the same since Joe left too. That's my take. It was Joe, right? I think it was Joe. Yeah, I think so. Either way. Oh my God, can you change the channel? Like, can you be competent for once? I didn't spend this much money for this TV just to not work. All right. I don't care about the Eagles. We don't care about Kyle McCord. Let me see your rants. Come on. I want to see your rants. Let's go. There's got to be more. I'm going to find more. We're hunting for more right now. We're hunting. Let's go. Apologies for the delay, everybody. I'm just trying to see if I can get any more comments here. Any more comments. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. House of horrors indeed. You know, I always say this about Atlanta. You know, I always say this about Pittsburgh. You know, I always say this about Milwaukee. This is exactly how the Phillies feel when they enter Citi Field. Phillies have a 6-24 record in their last 30 games at Citi Field, including postseason. Phillies have lost 10 straight games at Citi Field. Mets' longest home winning streak versus Phillies since 1984-1985 seasons. Oh my God. We're going to take that to the bank. We are, of course, going to take that to the bank, but that's insane. That gives you a great idea as to how much the Mets are rolling right now at home against this Phillies team and how the Phillies, again, have no recipe, no counter whatsoever how to handle the squad, guys. As we talk more about the Mets here and the biggest takeaways from this dominant series victory, a series sweep here against the Phillies by a final score of 6-0, guys. Let's relay the following in regards to the offensive numbers as well as the pitching and everything in between, and then we're going to continue on the live show for a bit. We're not ending early tonight. This is going to be an extended live show because this was a massive series sweep, guys, and we're going to open up a massive Q&A segment. We're going to further react as Mets fans to this victory and more numbers that we're going to pull up and a whole lot of fun in between. So, guys, let's get down to the offense here because, again, the offense came to play today. They did what they needed to do. Not only were the Mets quality yet again with runners in scoring position, again, the best batting average in baseball going back to the beginning of July for the most part. Going back to the beginning of August especially. They have been really, really good with runners in scoring position. Finally, it's took them all season, but they're finally starting to do it, guys. Francisco Lindor today, we saw have himself a multi-hit game, 2 for 4 with the RBI and the runs scored at 265 average and a 790 OPS. Juan Soto with the RBI single up the middle, a 251 average and 879 OPS. The Polar Bear, Pete Alonso, 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI there that we saw, 265 average, 853 OPS. Brandon Hemmo, a 3-hit game for Brandon Hemmo, 3 for 4 with a run scored, 258 average, 763 OPS. Swaggy V, Marky V, Daddy V, however you want to call him, Mark Vientos stepped up yet again. 10-game heater for Mark, 2 for 4 with the 2-run ding-dong and the RBI. 3 RBIs on the day, 246 average, 723 OPS. He's finally over 700 on the OPS. Love to see it. So, baby steps. Jeff McHit's more like Jeff McNope. Nothing from McNeil. A second straight game where McNeil did not record a hit. Very uncharacteristic for him, but it didn't matter. 2 straight games where Jeff doesn't record a hit, and the Mets still went comfortably. McNeil, who absolutely had a gorgeous catch in center earlier in this ballgame for McLean, 255 average, 790 OPS on the season. Star-studded Starling Marte, who also has been red hot for this Mets team, did nothing whatsoever, and that's okay. 284 average, 802 OPS. Brett the Hitman, Brett Beatty stepping up, continued. Beatty with a north of 900 OPS, it feels like, over the past calendar month or so. Beatty with a 2 for 4 game with a run scored, 248 average, 746 OPS. Hayden Senger, another solid day. Great game calling, such a sound defensive catcher, and another game where Senger's productive. A 1 for 3 game with a run scored and a walk. Who's complaining as the Alvy and Terens replacement right now? I know I'm not. We're taking that to the bank. A $180 average of 424 OPS, but who cares? It ain't about the numbers. It's about just what he can do on a game-by-game basis. You did a 180 on the Mets being first place contenders. I absolutely did, and I have no qualms in that happening. I have no shame in acting that way. You want to know why? I felt exactly how the vast majority of every single other Mets fan felt after they lost 14 to 16 games and after they found themselves 7 games out behind the Philadelphia Phillies. You would be either going into this series blind without paying attention to anything, or you're just such an optimist that regardless of the results, you're always going to go to bat for the team. And I respect those people, but the vast majority of fans here were under the belief that entering this Philadelphia Phillies series, that the likelihood of the Mets actually winning the division this year, slim to none. I said it was pretty much unofficially over. Wasn't officially over, but it feels like the nails are starting to be in the coffin. But the Phillies had one goal entering the series, and that was to put the final nails in the coffin. Instead, the Phillies got themselves in the coffin. They rolled over and died this entire series. The Mets, even when they gave up that bomb in the 8th inning because Ryan Helsley can't get out of his own head, you see Harrison Bader rip the bomb, it doesn't matter. The Mets still go out and win that one 6-5 yesterday in dramatic walk-off fashion. Absolutely have no whatsoever. I have no shame in saying that a week ago, not even that the Mets stood no chance versus now, because they have to go out and prove it. When was the last time the Mets swept a series against a team this good and actually dominated and gave you confidence as a fan? And the answer to that is the last time the Mets swept a team this good was the Phillies back at home in their first homestand of the season. When they had a 7-0 homestand, they swept Philadelphia. I was there for the series finale. Zach Wheeler gave up a bomb to Brett Beatty right before he got sent back down for his latest stint. Marte with a broken bat single up the middle to walk it off. I did a live stream in the Cadillac Club that day. That was literally the last time the Mets played a series of domination that good against a team that we all are desperately hoping to see them beat up. The Mets are the Phillies' daddy. Listen, when the Mets were in Philadelphia last time, we were throwing out Blade Tidwell. We had a nonsensical rotation and an offense that didn't know how to hit if it smacked them across the face. Color me shocked the Mets did not win that series against the Phillies. All it takes is momentum as well as having the right pieces in place. And the Mets had the vibes. They had the aura. They had everything that you needed at Citi Field because, again, Citi Field brings the vibes. When it's a sold-out crowd on a Monday night, how can you not at least consider to step up, if you ask me, and do a long phone call and you're still going? Of course you're still going. We're not stopping right now. We're locked so much in. But this goes back to my initial point, everybody. It's extra inning. It's 100% extra inning. Listen, this is what I got to say. For all the people that are saying, Wardy, how are you on this high horse now? How are you this confident? I'm confident because this is the first time this season the Mets played well-rounded, quality baseball in a series. Even when they were 21 games above 500 this year, how many of those games was the offense not hitting with runners in scoring position, but the pitching saving their ass? Tonight, 5 for 8 with runners in scoring position. McLean goes 8 shutty, and you don't even think for a second that the Mets are going to lose this ball game. That is the difference. Bros just came on. Oh my goodness gracious, Bros Media just dropped his new guys. Bros just dropped his new one. We got to do it. He's getting so much free promo from me. I should ask for a cut. I really should. You guys are giving him way more ad revenue than he otherwise should be getting. He just dropped it. It's a 35-minute reaction video. It's a 35-minute reaction video, guys. All right, guys, we're going to play the Bros Media clip here again in a second, guys. I'm going to play this clip, and then I'm going to cut things off for our replay viewers, so then we are just going to continue on the live show for our live viewers. I'm going to play probably the first couple minutes of this and let that be that. I'm sure he's going to be screaming his head off. Be prepared. Be prepared for the F-bombs, kiddos. If you want to get out of here, that's fine. But listen, this is Wardy After Dark. This is Wardy late hours now, as we not only broke down the ball game, but we're here to see Bros. And he is so numb that he's just staring into the camera for his thumbnail. Every other thumbnail he has is him screaming his head off. He's been doing this for years, and this is the first time I've seen him have a thumbnail not screaming his head off. The fact that he's blank staring tells you that he's defeated and is going to tell you exactly how much this team is a fraud. Let's lock in. Everybody get ready. Get ready. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this together. Again, apologies in advance. Earmuffs, kiddos. Might be a lot of F-bombs. Look at it. Look at all these thumbnails. Look at all these thumbnails. Even when he's in studio for his daily radio show, everyone is basically of him hands up reacting something. There is not a single thumbnail that he is. Okay, we got one. But even that has like a smirk. Look how deflated. Look at how deflated this man is for the first one. Top left, guys. Look at it. All right, lock in. Ready? Here we go. Grab your popcorn.
Bros Media.
They really did it, huh? They really did it. They really went into Queens and did the worst fucking possible thing in the world. They did that. Ay, ay, ay. So the first 2 games, I would say rage was probably the perfect way to describe my feelings. A lot of anger, a lot of frustration, and that's all still there, and I'm sure I'll find a pocket at some point in this show to absolutely lose my cool. But to start things off, I'm worn down more than anything else.
This was me after the Mets' latest loss, because I was at a point where I'm like, I can't even scream my head off about this loss. Whether it was in Atlanta or DC, I'm like, I'm just deflated. Like, I'm demoralized right now. We have reached that point for Broads here.
I'm emotionally defeated. I'm sad. I'm upset. In 2 of these games, they weren't even competitive. And I'll give all the credit to the world okay, to the kid on the bump on the other side today. Sometimes the Phillies hide behind that way too often. This time, I acknowledge that was a disgusting effort. But here's the kicker. That's what you are going to see in the playoffs. Great pitching. If you just put your hands up and shrug, look left and right and go, I don't know, just not our day. He's too good. Then we're not going anywhere. You have to beat great pitching. That's what happens if you want to win a championship. Sorry. You get paid a lot of money to counter that. Guys like Kyle, who have carried you for a long period of time, and that's what became a staple of your team's offense. He couldn't have disappeared more. Like, I wasn't even aware that he showed up to Queens. I didn't know if he was at the ballpark. You're not going to win when that's the case. I heard some crazy stat when I was driving into the studio one of these nights where Scott Fransky said on the broadcast that, and it's something along these lines, when Kyle Schwarber hits a home run, they win at a pace that is unbelievable and unfathomable. When he does it.
All right, I don't need to see Broads go on a 30-minute breakdown of why the Phillies are dog shit. I already know the answer to that. Broads, thank you so much for the content. Keep it up. Check him out, Broads Media. I don't want to take this whole thing from him. I don't want him to get mad at me either. I just want to show you guys the intro of the first minute or two to see if he was going to be screaming. He wasn't. He's deflated now, and that's awesome. That's awesome as a Mets fan. The same way that I'm sure that he and every other Mets Phillies content creator is just absolutely eating up my tears every single time the Mets get curb stomped and play bad baseball. Again, if we're dishing it, we got to take it as well. And Broads takes it well. I will give him that. He yells his head off a lot. He rants. He does all these things. But someone subbed something in the chat that I thought was mightily important. And I need everyone that hopefully stayed until the very end of the live show to make sure that they see this as well. I really do hope that a lot of you guys that watch this on replay watch until the very end, because there is one final thing I need to show you guys before we continue on the live stream just for our live viewers. And I'll be right back to go get it. Yeah. We got Big Dog in the building. We got Big Dog in the building. Oh my goodness. Rally Lobster's great, but it's a start of something new. And I think we got something cooking here. Would you agree? I think Elmo agrees. I could do my Elmo voice right now. I'm not going to, though. That is saved, preserved for my son, Shay. He gets that because every single time I go up to my act like Elmo and show him this, he sucks his thumb right away, gets all excited because he wants to cuddle and play with him. So we're riding high in Elmo land. If you guys are unaware why I have Elmo beside me, one, imagine not having an Elmo. What are you, a child? Secondly, the reason why we have Elmo is because it's Sesame Street Day, everybody, right? We saw a Sesame Street Day there at Citi Field, meaning that we saw Big Bird, we saw Cookie Monster, most certainly we saw Elmo, who suited up, who had himself ready. Again, there was one man standing that could keep the vibes alive for this Mets team, and it was, in fact, Mr. Elmo himself. So thank you so much, Elmo. We cannot thank you enough for keeping the vibes going. Hopefully this has started something special here for the final month or so of the season, everybody. But listen, the Mets need something silly. They need something stupid. Or maybe, maybe, they need a little Elmo in their life. Shout out Elmo, everybody. What a stud he is. You guys will definitely be seeing more of him in the future as long as my son Shay allows it. He's asleep right now, so we can go rob his toys when he doesn't know about it. But otherwise, he'll be like, hey, bring that over here. You know what I'm saying? But shout out Elbow. Going to put him right beside him and the lobster. They're going to cuddle up now right beside me. So that's what we got going there in Metsland, everybody. But guys, we're going to continue on the live show now to just our live viewers because I have a lot more to say tonight. I'm going to have a long night making content. I have to do a recap video for Bleacher Report that'll drop in the AM for you guys to check out. I'm further reacting and being excited not only about the Mets win tonight, but I'm going to pair that with the Jonathan news as well. So be on the lookout for that, guys. And we should have a video that'll be dropping earlier in the day tomorrow. Might not be smack dab in the morning, but I'm hoping that I have that video out no later than 1 o'clock or so, barring changes on my hectic schedule, so be on the lookout for it, everybody. But everyone watching live, thank you so much for hitting that like and subscribe button. Please continue to do so as we have a lot more to break down. I want to get to your comments, and I really want to get into more numbers, as well as seeing if there's more clips that we can run from the Phillies postgame show, among other things. So we're going to go ahead and do that. But to all of our replay viewers, thank you kindly for hitting that like and subscribe button on your way out. That really does mean a lot. Let me know all your biggest takeaways from tonight's dominant 6-0 victory between the Mets and the Phillies. The Mets sweeping the Philadelphia Phillies just like another day on the block. One in Flushing, Queens. We know what the result is clearly going to be. Thank you guys again for watching. Shout out our amazing sponsors at Mumu, SeatGeek, and Recon. Check out Recon Everyday Earbuds, everybody. I will have the link pinned in the comments to our replay viewers, especially once this is done being live. But everybody watching live, let's continue on the live show. Let's answer those comments. And everyone watching in replay, thank you again for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Let's go Mets. Peace out, folks.